Daddy.
What is it?
I got a tummy ache.
Britain never, never, never shall be slaves. Britain never, never, never shall be slaves. Oh, Britannia, Britannia always. Britain never, never.
You all did well on last night's little exercise. Feels great firing the real thing, doesn't it? Yeah! You're going to need it, because one day you'll have to fight. And that fight will be for the freedom of the true Englishman, for the honour of your country, for your creed, your God, and your colour. I'd just like to formally introduce our guest of honour, our senior European controller. Soldiers, Klaus Dorman. The founder of our glorious pan-European network.
Are you sure hot milk is good for it?
Well, my mummy gave it to me when my tummy hurt.
Granny was funny.
Why's that, darling?
She said a gin a day keeps the doctor away.
More like 4.
I am impressed by the spirit, Calvin. You English have a beautiful savagery about you.
It comes of winning 2 world wars.
Let us not fight our father's battles. We have our own war to make.
So, why are you here?
To observe.
You've done that?
And to warn you.
About what?
The European organization is not happy. They want more commitment. They want to see that you are forming up your own hit cells. In 9 months, Calvin, we will begin. And you must be prepared.
Like these Sea Scouts, Klaus. We'll be willing, ready, and able. Don't you worry. There'll be more aggravation than Tiananmen Square in dear old England.
Good.
Bloody crowd.
You'll be like a racehorse with a tonic after that. Does it taste good?
It's too hot.
I'll cool it down for you.
I could have one of Mummy's secret chocolates instead. They're in the bookshelf.
You'll have this and like it, madam. And how's your tummy feeling?
It's getting better.
I've checked. Didn't expect to see you here.
Had the Imperial Command from Dortmund. Heard the men did well on the practical.
We've got some top lads here.
Good.
Anything else?
We've got to do a bit of fundraising. It seems that...
One of our best, Nicky the Frost.
Get some of your top lads and search him, will you?
Why?
Because I don't trust anybody. But go on. Do it.
All right, mate? Sorry about this, Nicky. It's just part of the exercise.
Don't bother me, Jace.
He's clear. Just his boots now. Oh, like right kippers. And the other one.
Police issue? Then get rid of him.
What?
Just do it.
Now, my dears, said old Mrs. Rabbit one morning, you may go into the fields or down the lane, but don't go into Mr. McGregor's garden. Your father had an accident there. He was put in a pie by Mrs. McGregor.
I am the ghost of the gambler's past.
Oh, God.
No, it's only me.
Could have given me a heart attack. I'm trying to do a forecast.
Mug's game.
Oh, I haven't actually put a bet on for months. Weeks. Last Tuesday.
Squandering all your ill-gotten gains on horse flesh.
You're a fine one to lecture on ill-gotten gains, aren't you?
I'm a taxpayer.
Yes, on declared income.
What else would I pay it on?
Today at the Old Bailey, the London gangland boss, Oliver Smart, was found guilty on 9 separate counts.
Sir,
Smart,
one of D.I. Fairweather's old buddies.
subject of police attention.
Too bloody
Finally
right.
brought to justice after the fatal wounding of a security guard at the Red Fern Bank in the City of London. Smart was sentenced to a minimum of 20 years. Yay! Together with Smart were Tony Member,
20 years, eh?
Alec Jones, 15 years.
He'll be 58 when he gets out.
12 years. Conservationists and developers were today discussing the latest official report, which proposes that St Paul's Cathedral should be demolished on the grounds that it no longer blends in with the surrounding buildings.
I fancy a real drink tonight. Come on. Well, just don't go making fools of yourselves. As if we would, sir.
Us, guardians of the law.
Come on.
Enjoyed the trip then, Jack?
Food wasn't up to much. It was palatable.
And a good time was had by all?
Don't fish, Calvin. I was very discreet.
I'm sure.
As I'm sure you've been.
Everything is perfect. Clothes paid us a visit. Top of the class for the chaps on the training exercise.
All good men and true. What else did he want?
British division to be ready for action within 9 months.
Well, a bit premature, isn't it? God, I almost wish I'd been here to put him straight about a few facts and figures.
Well, you weren't. And the fact is that we need a big injection of cash to finance Philpott's arms requirements. We're making progress. But what we need, Jack, is a nice, easy target.
This really isn't my brief, Calvin. You're the action department. I am political.
Well, I'm sure you can find us something.
Thank you. Calvin, I'll do almost anything for our cause. But you can't ask me to sanction robbing something, but I just can't do something like that.
Plenty have before you.
Well, I just don't think I could.
Now think about it. You won't be involved. All we need is something that's easy to get into and, more important, out of.
Ah, I think I'll have the gooseberry fool.
It's a funny old world.
Yeah. Sometimes I wake up and just burst out laughing. Then I realise it was only a dream.
Oh, cynicism, eh? That's nice, coming from a man of the cloth.
Man of the X-cloth, mate. Oh, by the way, do you really like these new threads that you bought for me?
You look like a refugee from Sesame Street.
Oh. Hey, do you remember Bessie Franklin? She used to take boys behind that old hulk there and show them her knickers for sixpence.
I remember you and Audrey Camel got caught necking down here by our father after the Paradise Summer fiasco. Of course, that was before you took holy orders, wasn't it?
Great, those fiascos, weren't they? Hey, do you remember when Dad got miraculous? First time since his wedding, according to Ma.
And he led the old dancer and a conga to the local nick.
Yeah. In one door and out the other. Old Tommy Henderson, the police sergeant, he joined in. Ma Walker put on his helmet. Hello, 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 hello. Because these days they'd hit us with technical firearms. police dogs, helicopters.
All right, mate. What? No, it's nothing. It's stupid. What chance have they got, eh?
Oh, Danny, look, you've done everything in the world for the kids. I mean, they got a good school, lovely home, you spend lots of time with them. Great mother, stable home life.
Frank, our dad was a cheap hood.
Yeah. But he was also kind and generous.
Ma was a nightmare. She changed, Frank. Rivers of blood and all that, we might joke about it, but she bloody well went bad. And she took me with her.
Nobody is irredeemable, Danny. Nobody in the world.
Try to keep it from the family. That was great. She pretends she has no idea where I get my money from.
Yeah. Carol is a treasure.
Terry? Terry knows the best way to blow a safe is with a shape-cutting charge that just lifts out the lot.
Well, he'll never starve. As long as he can afford to buy some Cortex.
You're crazy, Frank. Anyway, I'm thinking of giving it up. Going straight.
Our armoury is minuscule compared to that of our friends over the water. So, in the words of Mr. Churchill, we need to rearm. That means money. So, dear Jason, I think it's time to introduce our little recruitment scheme to these willing criminal sons of toil. How many did you have on that list?
6.
Well, you know the pitch. We'll find the place, they do the job, and a 50-50 split.
I've already got some info on 2 of them. Oliver Smart's just gone down for 20 years. Dickie Judd has got a tumour, which isn't going to get better.
4-horse race. Less to do, Mr. Philpott.
I'll have to go local then. That's Danny Kane for the south side, Martin Lucky Boy Noonan for the north.
Lucky boy. Damon Runyon has a lot to answer. Eat your heart out, Nick Faldo.
Not giving you much room to manoeuvre, boss.
That doesn't worry me. Anytime I need a character witness, I've always got half the flying squad to say they've never seen me do anything wrong.
Cheeky bugger.
He'll get his comeuppance. These smart-ass would-be mafiosi generally do.
Central 07 for Foxtrot 4.
Foxtrot 4-4 receiving, over.
4, your governor is required most urgently back at November, Sierra, Yankee. Repeat, most urgent, over.
On our way.
Must be lunchtime back at the yard.
Special branch. And when we got here, she was into the lift and up to their floor like a scalded cat.
Don't like it, Tommy. I think we'll just keep our ears to the ground on this one.
Watch, look and listen, Asa.
Yes. Just like the Green Cross Code.
Come in.
What's up, sir? And why is everyone turning the other way? Have I fallen foul of the rubber heel?
It's Detective Sergeant Willard. And Michael. He's been murdered.
Oh, Christ.
His body was found at 9:43 this morning. I've sent Bill Vincent round to the parents. He was working on an extreme right-wing case.
Pan-European network.
I understand you were close. You want to go home? Take some time off.
I'll cry later. He said he was going to carry, and I said he was crazy.
He did. Michael was issued with a .38 Smith & Wesson and 12 rounds.
And it's missing.
Before this, I intended pulling you off the flying squad assignment.
To do what?
I wanted you to run a covert investigation of Penn.
I accept.
Okay.
I don't want anyone outside this floor to know what I'm doing.
Oh, they won't hear from me. Good hunting.
Ladies and gentlemen, here tonight, back by popular demand, Pride!
I know when I lie.
Well, my friends are trying to tell me, girl is out of hand. That my man is mean and slippery, they just don't understand. I know he's a bad, bad boy, but he pays the bill. Yes, I know he don't love me, but I want him. Yes, I want him still.
When's Frank going to have me and the boys back, eh? Trad rock and roll still lives, you know.
Next Drinkley night's not till next month, Ronnie.
Winkler. And me with the complexion of a young James Dean.
He's my kind of man. Come on, baby, touch me. Well, for me, the choice is easy.
That's not a word.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. All right, then. How'd you say it?
Elysium. Yeah, Elysium. It's a place of ideal happiness, a sort of old Greek for heaven.
Pardon me for asking.
Heard it on the car radio, didn't we, Terry?
Did I spell it right then?
Yeah, of course you did.
Maybe we should take these two upstairs, eh?
That'll be nice.
Come on, you two. Please, toilet bed.
And he never tries to please me. He likes to see me fight. He's got that certain style. I'm the kind you love to hate. And he always tries.
John Joe O'Brady. Remember me?
No.
Jason Philpott. I was solicitor's clerk when you were tried at the Bailey for the Goodwood Racecourse job.
Bit free with the old rabbit, Doctor. In front of the lady and all.
Well, there's ladies, eh?
And what pilgrim.
No offence.
None taken.
Look, I need a word. I've got business to discuss.
I'll talk to Polish Joe here. He's the dance hall's business manager.
That's right.
It's not a dance hall business, Mr. O'Grady. You want to talk with Danny Kane. Could be worth his while.
Look after Alice for me.
No problem. My pleasure.
Reminds me of your mum's front room.
Remember how my dad used to come in every 5 minutes, pretending he left something behind?
Well, he was only protecting your virtue.
That went in the back of your Cortina GT.
Only know the way it feels.
There's your dad. to a tow rag like that for? I don't care what sort of business he can put my way, John Joe. You tell him to sling his hook.
Yeah, sure. Okay, Danny, bye. Sorry, he's not interested.
All we're asking for is the introduction, Johnny.
The name is Mr. O'Brady, and the answer is no. Mr. Kane is not interested in getting involved with extreme right-wing lunatics. Or extreme left-wing, for that matter. We're just not into politics, chum.
At least let us put our proposition to him.
Darling, take young Adolf here back to the stone he crawled out from underneath.
Mistake, O'Brady. You just made a big mistake.
Sure, now scram.
Jace, he doesn't realise. He's not worth it.
You'll be hearing from us, pal.
I can't wait. Oh, and by the way, you're barred from the Paradise Club.
She can be dead forceful when she wants, can't she?
You can start making remarks like that, Rother, when you start paying your bar bill.
Oi, I always pay my whack, thank you very much.
Who was that, anyway?
A couple of undesirables.
The man who was barred from the Paradise Club. Do me a favour.
D.S. Willard was last seen on the night before the murder, when he attended a secret training session of the Pan-European Network.
The PEN movement is not in itself an illegal organization. However, from within its members, an even nastier and quite definitely subversive group is recruited. The European Liberation Front.
Racism is what these lovely people are into. PAN formed itself out of casual contacts between highly organized groups of football and boxing thugs. Spartacus Group, Column 88, you know the sort of dross.
The plan is to inflame public opinion throughout the EEC against immigrant groups.
Car bombs, grenades in supermarkets and football grounds, to be claimed by an invented extremist coalition of Islamic, African and West Indian groups. The aim is race riot.
Nice people. We have some faces.
Calvin Edward Jackson, British subject, born Brighton 1948, property developer of the dubious kind. Seems to be some sort of guiding light for the British chapter, but never mixes with them. But he's in the frame. That well-known man about town and member of Parliament for Lee Hill and South Park, Jack Pringle.
I've often wondered about him.
You wondered correctly. He's another member of this lunatic group. Been watched by our friends in Whitehall for some time. Extensive business contacts both here and abroad. Prides himself on his high patriotic values and rule Britannia attitudes. Not a nice man. And with a very unsavory private life, if rumors are right.
Jason Victor Philpott, criminal law clerk. Previous for actual times too. Been up the steps once for football affray and conspiracy to wound, but the trial got scrubbed. Kicked out of the TA as undesirable, but first got a good training on weapons.
Michael figured we're talking just 19 or 20 people, split into 4 cells, with backup from maybe another 30.
What can we lift them on?
Sweet FA until we get positive proof.
And yet they killed Michael.
Oh yes, I'm sure they did.
Surveillance?
We're using watches from the funny people.
Michael's last report said they're going to need weapons, explosives.
Then let's watch friend Philpott. See where he takes us.
What did the Irish hood mean when we pay for our own beer? I always pay up for mine. You always pay for yours, didn't you, Mick?
Maybe he was hinting. Maybe one of our boys is on the make.
Wouldn't like that. One thing I can't stand is a bent copper.
Miss Turnbull has just been plucked from our bosoms.
I think I'd rather the other way round.
Special branch have requested her back. She's working on their shooting case.
Oh, Dodger. Just when you were getting a look in.
I'm going to look at the Paradise file. 'Cause I think it's about time we nailed this man Kane. Right. Let's have a look at your shopping list, shall we? Plastic explosives, submachine guns, pistol silencers, hand grenades, two-way radios, electronic timers. In this quantity, it's 161,000 plus 30%. Tell you what, we'll call it a round
£209,000.
Say I buy that. Can you do the deal?
Me? I'm not a criminal.
Mr. Rivers, robbing banks is a job for experts. I've just been trying to talk to a couple of them, showed me the bloody door. One of them was exceptionally out of order.
Jason, you're a solicitor's clerk, right?
My name is Andrew.
Oh, give me a break. You think I don't check my clients out first? You work in a criminal law office. Now, you must know some tasty pro who could do you a nice, proper job for a share of the cash.
Look, Jason's told you they don't want to play. They're politically bankrupt. Why else would we be here?
So, offer them a nice, juicy piece of intelligence. Reference where and when the cash could be liberated. And guarantee payment, even if the job fails up. Not just a cut of the job. Offer incentive. That's what it's about.
And the commodities?
Delivery would be made within 4 days of you coming up with the cash.
OK. We'll be in touch.
Oi. Don't flying squad knock when they go visiting.
It's just so difficult with wings, sir.
It's all right, Don. I asked DC Milligan to report to me.
Eyes front, Constable. This is restricted area.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, well, in that case, maybe I won't be able to tell you the last place I saw him.
Then there's the bingo. Now, on that alone, we average 200 a week. So, taking us a Friday, they're good for 390 net. So, add all that to the rest, that's 1,150 quid a week average.
Average?
Yeah, plus there's bar takings, that's another 1,600 a week. So, all that together, that's about 2,750 quid a week.
Frank, that's almost £150,000 a year.
Yeah, but out of which comes lighting, heating, phone, gas, rates, wages, and the running of your posh motor.
So how much is left?
Well, I figure out of our partnership you could reckon on, say, 28,000.
Before or after tax? I've got to pay my tax. I've got the thin blue line after my collar as it is.
Well, after tax with allowances, Schedule D, let's say you would earn 22,000.
That's just a fraction of what I...
What you earn from crime, yeah.
All right, it's just a fraction. I just have to make the most of it.
You're not going to stick to it, are you? Now, this is a quixotic thought, because I know how badly you really want to try.
Frank, it's for my kids. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I'm going to give it my best shot.
Then may God go with you.
Philpott thrown out of the Paradise Club.
Oh, I wonder what he was doing there.
Maybe going in for the Martin Bormann lookalike contest?
Don, I think we'll borrow DC Milligan. No need to let Flying Squad in on it. Just an informal word. He's a bright boy.
Bit irregular, Gov.
Meaning?
Meaning we have a positive vetting rule in the branch.
I'll leave admin in your capable hands.
I'm just pointing out it's not in the book, that's all.
Don, our targets are strutting around knowing we know they killed a cop. Just watch me doing it by the book. Also, DC Milligan's given me my first positive idea on this case. Get me some wheels, would you? We're off to make an arrest.
An arrest? We don't have enough evidence.
Rule number 2, never jump to conclusions. Sergeant Wells, please dig out surveillance file Tango 8749 and take it under escort to Northview. Also book me a Cat A interview room.
Tango 8 files have got nothing to do with the PN case. Are you sure you've got the right number?
Oh, yes, I have the right number.
I understand the police have taken an observation on me. Something to do with police overtime cuts. So maybe if I can walk away from this, Samantha and Terry's dad won't have to do any more bird.
Yeah, you do seem to have had a guardian angel stopping you from doing porridge.
Danny.
Hello. It ain't the old firm from Victoria Street, Nick. Oh, there's a new one, eh?
Daniel Peter Kane.
The same.
I'm arresting you for robbery and conspiracy to rob under the jurisdiction of the Central Criminal Court. You're not obliged to say anything, but anything you do say may be taken down and used in evidence.
I don't want any trouble, Kane.
It's amazing, isn't it? Can't even have a quiet drink without being harassed by lager louts. Tell Carol I'll be late home from the office.
Yeah, of course. Do you want me to come down with you?
Mr. Kane will be all right. Do you want me to drive you home?
You know, he really wants to go straight.
Sure.
Danny, I have bad news for you.
And I have bad news for you. If you, no, I'm sorry, I'll rephrase that. When you fail to come up with the evidence, I'm going to sue you for wrongful arrest.
Where were you on May the 16th? At 11:20 a.m.?
Offhand, I have no idea.
You're a chancer, Kane. Nice try. We also have you on video.
Mr. Kane, where were you on the morning of June the 16th?
I was at the Paradise Dance Hall, and I've got witnesses.
Well, you're going to need them. I must confess it's gratifying to see a serious villain stuck for words. Makes it all worthwhile, doesn't it, Inspector?
We've got you banged to rights, Mr. Kane. And this is no cooked-up negative, I can assure you.
Gave us all a run, though.
It's rock and roll competition tonight in the club. Should see the kids.
Danny says you won that in 56, you and Audrey Camille.
Yeah. Got a cup of tea?
Yeah, sure. Unless you'd like to eat with us. Mind you, it's getting a bit late.
No, I've eaten. Carol. Danny is in deep trouble.
Don't worry, Max will...
Not this time.
Where's DC Milligan?
Taking a couple of days due, Chief.
What the hell's he playing at? I wanted him on this Gus Street bank job.
He won't be back till next week, sir.
What's happened, Sergeant? Krakatoa exploded?
Worse. Special branch have just nicked Danny Kane.
Danny Kane, Sarah.
He's in custody.
Charged with?
Richard, it's not something I'm ready to discuss. Not just at the moment.
Something political? I must say I'm surprised.
Well, actually, it's armed robbery. 2 counts, okay?
And I must insist, Chief Inspector, that the case be handed over to my squad. Blagging's is flying squad business. What's the matter? Running out of political extremists?
No, Richard, I'm up to here with political extremists, and no, I'm not turning the Kane case over to you, so...
I knew the moment you came down to slum in my office that the branch were up to no good. Well, I'm warning you, I'm going to take this up with AC Specialist Operations.
Your privilege, Chief Superintendent. Pleasure talking to you.
So grand as your Whitehall abode, Sir David. Not demotion, I hope.
Horses for courses, Mr. Pringle. Nobody can hear your screams in here. It's been soundproofed.
I've always appreciated a sense of humor.
And I've always appreciated a sense of honor, particularly from junior ministers.
I can assure you that all is well in the house of Jack Pringle.
Then you're a bigger fool than I thought. Oh, please don't get up with an air of shocked amazement because we have information about you that bids fair to ruin your career and in all probability the rest of your life. If we care to give the information to certain interested parties.
I don't know what you mean.
An overworked phrase.
I'm not going to sit here and listen
Yes,
to
you are. Now, firstly, for your perusal, at your leisure, these photographs from your recent holiday.
You've been spying.
And secondly, your involvement with these gentlemen.
I was merely a guest.
As the Americans would say, don't be an asshole, Mr. Pringle. No. I'm afraid you've had it. Unless...
Unless? Unless what?
Unless you deliver this little scheme to your colleague, Mr. Jackson. An easy touch for a professional, I think you'll find.
I've been looking for you.
Oh, hello, Frank. What do you think about Fly's Eye, 230?
A word in your ear, if you don't mind.
I've got to see this man about a horse, right?
Ron, look, I will come straight to the point. You are a copper's narc, right?
Mr. Kane, if God's my judge.
Oh, he is, my son. He is. But there are other judges, and one of them will soon be sitting at the Old Bailey, sending my brother Danny down the steps for a serious number of years.
I hope you don't think I had anything to do with that, Frank.
Oh, no. Now, my question is this. Look, the buzz was that the Sweeney Todd...
The what, Frank?
The buzz was that the flying squad had called off the constant surveillance on Danny because of overtime cuts. That don't sound right?
Oh, yeah, I'd heard about it.
Yeah.
I'd heard. Two Rosses gossiping, right?
Yeah. So I want you to snout about and info me, OK?
Oh, it's a bit bleeding risky at this time, Frank.
It's a bit more risky if you don't. I mean, would you like it known that you take Dopsy from 3 different detectives, swearing to each that you are their one true snout?
You a priest and you'd stoop to blackmail?
Read the life of Torquemada.
Talk to you.
I trust you've slept well.
Like a log.
You'll get a long stretch. My own guess is about 16 years. Some say a couple of years less. Should we get some coffee?
I'm fine, thanks.
I've been looking through your prison reports. Just one 8-year stretch. They say you were glad to get out.
Surprise, surprise.
Some of our surveillance shots have your children in them. Lovely family. You must be very proud.
Don't start that. Leave my family out of it. Leave my family alone.
Well, barring a fixed jury, you're on your way to more than a dozen Christmases behind bars. How does that feel? Put your jacket on, Danny. Come with me.
I want to see my lawyer.
How shall we do this? The easy way or the hard way?
Nasty rumblings from above. Time we looked to our laurels.
What did you have in mind, sir?
I think a sniff around the Paradise Club wouldn't be out of order. And try and put the finger of fear on that little worm Blythe.
Be a pleasure.
But with discretion, gentlemen. With discretion.
What's the problem? Is this about somebody's sister?
Aye. What do you reckon?
This is to teach you some manners, Paddy. Our friend John Gill takes 2 before he's done.
I'll give him 2.5.
Aye, here comes Batman.
The avenging angel of Rotherhithe. Good technique, our Frank.
Oh, that were a nice one to the goalies.
Well, what do you think?
John Joe, 7 out of 10 for gouging, 8 out of 10 for the headbutt, and 9 for the right hook.
Frank's about the same, only he's puffing a bit.
Do you reckon they'll need us soon?
With discretion, Dodger boy, with discretion, that's the brief.
I've seen him before.
Looks like a weasel.
What was that all about?
That's the bloke I threw out of the club the other night, and his friends. They're
sort of cross between Adolf Hitler's fan club and the Ku Klux Klan.
What do you see?
Railway arches, building sites.
Look.
Oh, don't tell me you're going to do me for graffiti and all. That's bound to stick another 3 days on the end of my prison sentence.
I think even Mike Tyson will be proud of the one I landed on that last skit.
You can still handle yourself in the cobbles, Frank.
Problems? Yeah. Where are you holding my brother? He's been moved from Northview.
Frank, I have no idea where Danny is. Not the arresting officer, see?
That's the word on the street, Frank. It ain't the old enemies that's leaning on him.
Meaning?
Meaning, it's not the flying squad and it's not the serious crimes.
Another outfit.
That's the word on the streets, man.
So now you know, Frank.
Word on the streets.
Surely you don't think I don't check out my clients first. You work in a criminal law office, so you must know some tasty pro who could do you a nice, proper job for a decent cut.
Look, Jason's told you they don't want to play. They're politically bankrupt. Why else would we be here?
Let's have a look at your shopping list, shall we?
Well, if you're trying to suggest that I'm involved in them crazes, then forget it. And I don't need a lawyer to get me out of this. Those people are the scum of the earth.
When you were charged last night, when you slept, if you slept in that police cell, how, tell me frankly, Danny, how do 14 or more years in similar surroundings appeal to you?
A deal?
You've seen the evidence against you. Our watchers have been targeting you and 4 other active criminals for the past year.
Just so you can use us?
Let's say it gives us an extra dimension in our fight against people like this.
By blackmailing me?
By asking for your cooperation.
Big Brother really is watching over us, eh?
Only if you're naughty. Now, in the normal way, the papers would go into the process. A case would be put forward to the Crown Prosecution Service. Right now, the papers are here.
I'm listening, but I don't like what I'm hearing.
Danny, the detective who was killed on Monday.
They did that?
We were living together.
I'm sorry.
And quite frankly, I'll stop at nothing to get at them.
Well, that's probably why they put you on the case.
You're right. I have certain authority to take unorthodox measures against these people.
Well, if you're trying to tell me you can get all the charges against me dropped, well, I'm sorry. I don't believe you.
Danny, I didn't choose your life for you. You've been a professional criminal, and now I hear you'd like to go straight. Well, you help me, and we'll help you.
Right. Let Philpott make contact with you. Play him along. Lure him into the bank robbery and he'll trust you. That way you can get in on the inside track.
I don't like this.
I want you to infiltrate the European Liberation Front. I want you to help us get these tow rags off these streets.
If I set them up for a robbery, ain't gonna make them trust me, is it? What about the cavalry? Suppose the cavalry doesn't arrive in time.
Oh, there's no cavalry in this plan, Danny. You really carry out a robbery. I mean, how else are they ever going to trust you?
You sure you can manage these fish fingers with this sore tummy, love?
It's getting better.
When I was little, I used to sometimes pretend I had a sore tummy so I could take time off school.
Daddy will be coming back, won't he?
Of course he will, love. Of course he'll be coming back.
Suppose I was to say yes. What you want is to put these people away, plus justice for the cop killers.
In a nutshell.
Then I'm a free man.
As far as I'm concerned.
And the evidence against me?
Stays locked in that safe.
Till the next time.
Danny, you're not James Bond. I don't see there being a next time.
Well, suppose I just get caught committing a robbery on your behalf, of course.
You go to jail.
Hobson's choice, isn't it?
More like Danny Kane's.
How exactly are you going to explain me being let off the hook? Because if you give Graham half a chance, he's going to nick me for real and sod the security of the realm, as you so quaintly put it.
Don't worry, we've worked out a brief. All you have to do is follow it.
A brief? Sounds almost legal, doesn't it?
Check out the two snappy dressers.
Who?
These are the people running this case, Danny. They make people like Peter Noonan and the Yardies look like five go off to Smuggler's Cove.
Not police, then?
Grade 1 executives from a sister organisation.
Spooks. We call them the funny people. They'll be taking a great interest in everything you do.
Well, just as long as I don't die laughing.
You're looking forward to this.
I'm looking forward to something else other than four square walls and a little tent of blue Sarah, no mistake. Some new master race can't even spell European.
You are one of our cornerstones, Mr. Philpott, which is why we must put into operation the next stage of Operation 8. What would you like me to do? Danny Kane.
But that's the Paradise Mob. I can't...
You can. Besides, sometimes an apology is a better entry key than a blitzkrieg.
I can't say sorry to that Irish...
Now, when this is done, you can put Mr. O'Brady into a meat mincer. Until then, please be on best behaviour and arrange for me to meet with this Daniel Kane.
We'll be back at the Paradise Club for the conclusion of the story at 9:30 next week.